We are live. What's going on,
live?
everybody? We are. It's been a couple weeks. Sorry about that. So we're gonna get some people logged on here. Blame Shazad momentarily. But just so you know, if you're watching the recording and this is before Christmas, you're going to get free access to my mentorship here in a few minutes. We're going to give you the link to get free access, and it'll be in the description below once I get it in there after this live. So just so you know, if you're watching the recording, hang out. We're going to do some awesome Q&A, and then we are going to get some people going in here and answer some questions and really provide value, as well as get free access to the mentorship. So
is this our first live in the new building?
First live in the new building.
Yes, let's go. So did you tell them about the new building?
Why don't you tell them a little about it?
Nah, you own, dude. You own the building. You go ahead.
All right, so we are in our new office building. I just did a YouTube video on the other day, but it's a 24,000 square foot office building. We've been rehabbing over the past 6 months. We got our entire team together and the brokerage together now. So we got about 100 people in here that come and go every single day. So this building is awesome. It's an all real estate building. We'll do more content of it in the future. This is not our final video room. We are doing a new social media video room here. They'll be ready here in a couple months or less, hopefully. But let us know where you're from in the chat box. That would be great. Shazad, why don't you talk a little about the market?
So yeah, I mean, things are still hot. Obviously, different parts of the country, there's a little bit of fluctuation. Some parts of the country are hitting a little bit of a downturn in the winter. But I mean, overall, on the aggregate, market prices are still a lot of areas record highs, and most real estate experts continue. They see that trend continuing at least for another 12 to 18 months. In everything that I've read. What do you think?
Yeah, I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a normal winter. It's going to slow down a little bit. All this Omicron, all this craziness. It's going to I think tighten up a little bit, but I think it's just going to be a pretty normal winter. So continue to let us know where you're from in the chat box. What's going on, Matt? What's going on, Heidi from Florida? I wish I was in Florida. What's going on, Fernando? Sorry, the computer's here. We're just getting set up. What's going on from New Jersey? Nice. So let us know where you're from. As I said earlier, we're going to give you free access to my mentorship here in a minute, give you the link for that. But let me introduce ourselves here for those of you that don't know who we are. My name is Sam. This is Sheezy. We are real estate investors. I have been doing it for a few years. Shazad's a little bit newer in the game. So I have a rental portfolio worth $25 million that I've used other people's money to buy.
That's awesome.
I also own a house buying company. We're going to flip about 255 houses this year. So we do a lot in the real estate investing space. And that's why I created our TikTok, YouTube, and Instagram, all under the name @SamFasterFreedom to teach you what we're doing. Why not? I'm not teaching you something I read in a book. I'm teaching you something I do every day. Exactly. So talk a little bit about your journey.
Yeah, so well said, first of all. So Sam's my boss, my mentor. Dude taught me everything I know. I had a little bit of experience. When I came to Sam, he's turned it into about 100 times that. And this year I bought more properties than I did the previous 4 years combined, all because of what Sam has taught me. So now our mission through this education company, Faster Freedom, our mission is to teach newer investors exactly what we do and how we do it, and all the steps you take and all the things to watch out for, and tons of case studies and best practices and common errors. And I mean, it's a very comprehensive approach to learning the business.
Yeah, and the fact that we do it all day, every day makes it awesome. So throw your questions in the chat box. I just threw up there again. Apologies, this is our first one in the new building. We've been moving, so we haven't gone live the last couple of weeks. We'll get our momentum going back up. We'll have an incredible state-of-the-art video room to do this out of. It's going to be next level type.
We just moved in last week.
Yes, so it's just going to be next level type of stuff. So throw your questions in the chat box. Please like, share, and comment on this. If you're watching this, just hit that like button. It really helps. It doesn't hurt you at all. It just kind of helps get this out in front of more people. So hit that like button if you're watching this, please. A share is okay, and throw in any comments in the chat box helps. So start to fill up that chat box with questions. We would really appreciate it. So like, comment, and share. So we already did the market update. So we'll get to a few questions here in a little bit. But what I kind of like to talk about is what next year looks like a little bit, as we're getting some questions there, because next year is going to be interesting for sure, because it's a new year. Who knows? The last couple of years have been crazy hot. What is it going to happen next year? So I'm going to talk about that as you guys are throwing your questions in the chat box. So any question about apartments, single family rentals, storage facilities, anything at all about real estate investing, we'll kind of go anywhere. We'll talk about Shazad playing safety in high school if you want to.
Let's go.
So next year I'm going to do a YouTube.
You played quarterback.
I did. Yep.
There you go.
Well, we had an incident this morning with a football that I threw.
Tell them about it, boss. What was it? 8:52 a.m.
I was threw a football left-handed into Matt's office, another guy on the education team, and I hit coffee and it spilled all over him. So we had to get a change of clothes. It was that bad.
It sounded awful. I was in the next room. It sounded awful. And when I came around the corner and saw what happened, it was way worse than it sounded. It was pretty bad. My boy Matt, I felt for him, but it's a rite of passage, I think, on this team.
Yeah, it was something. Yeah. Well, yeah. Anyway, so that was
good start to the morning.
It was a good start to the morning. But so throw your question in the chat box. I see one there. Let's keep them going. We'll talk about next year. Then we'll get to every single question. So no matter what you got, if you want to know our heights, throw it in the chat box. We will get to the
Why is it always got to be a height?
Sorry.
Right.
Let us know your questions. But so next year, so I thought, and I'm doing a full YouTube video on this shortly. I'm going to record it next week, so it'll be out, beginning of the year. I think the market's going to be good next year. I thought it was going to be great, but I think it's going to be good. And, I prefer it to be good than great because it can't keep going like this forever. This doesn't mean a crash. I just know that the Fed.
A little stability would be nice.
Yes, it's just more sustainable, right?
Yeah.
It can't go like this.
Well said.
It can't go like this forever.
Right.
It can kind of do this for a long time, but it can't do this forever. So the Fed's going to raise rates at least 3 times. About 2 months ago, they said they're going to raise rates once next year. And no, that didn't scare anybody. Now they said they're going to raise rate 3 times because interest rates strongly affect people buying, especially if they're used to this low interest rate. So I went from thinking next year was going to be an incredible growth year to thinking it's just going to be a mid-level year, which I like. So I honestly personally think they'll probably just raise it twice. I think they're trying to gauge public reaction. Raise it once, nobody was scared. Raise it 3 times. What does that do? I know the stock market shot up after they said they're going to raise it 3 times. So everybody wants it to slow down a little bit. No one wants it to crash. So I think 2 or 3 times will give us a little soft landing is I think what they're saying. So I see a lot of questions on there. Got to throw this one up there. Hello, Jill Prim. That is my mom saying hello.
Jill Prim. Hi, Jill.
Thanks for bringing up the sweatpants for Matt. Matt, coffee on his.
Can I call you Jill?
You can call her Jill.
Miss Prim.
I've called her Jill for the last 20 years.
Mrs.
So
Prim.
That's fine. Yeah, that's fine.
Senora Prim.
So throw those questions in the chat box. What do you think about the market? And I'll queue up some questions.
Yeah. So, the other way to think about that, guys, with interest rates, sort of what helped me understand it when I got into this is because interest rates are at an all-time low and they have been for pretty much since the beginning of COVID, right? Because interest rates are so low, that is often what drives up prices, right? Because money is cheaper to buy, cheaper to use, cheaper to borrow. So institutional investors, individual investors are borrowing that money because the interest rates make sense. Thus cash flows make sense, right? So as interest rates start to increase, what you're going to see is a lot of those sort of, I don't want to be mean, but a lot of those bottom feeder players, it's gonna level them out of the market, which leaves more market share for strong investors, right? So because interest rates are so low right now, it creates this buying frenzy, thus a shortage of inventory, and that's what makes prices go higher. So as interest rates go back up, we might see some leveling out or decline, which is a good thing a lot of times.
Yeah, if you're a smart investor, you can make money on all the swings, up and down swings.
Well said.
All right, let's get some questions. So just finished the Bird deal on a duplex and just closed on a single family. Need to scale faster. Please throw good using a hard money lender to do the same process. Awesome. So talk a little bit about scaling with the Birds and a hard money lender. So let's break that down. And Cheesy can fill in the gap. So first, I have, I think, 3 videos on this YouTube channel about hard money lenders, maybe 4 now. I have 5 videos on private money lenders and probably 25 on the Birds method. So this is covered on the YouTube channel, but you're live, might as well ask it and get a live answer. So I love the question. Right. So just so you know it's there. And also, I'm going to give you access to our mentorship here shortly, which goes into heavy detail about it. But basically, using the Birds method is a way to not put 20% down on rental properties, and it's a way to grow a massive rental portfolio without using any of your own money. So the way you do is you use a hard money lender, which is just a company that lends you money to buy and fix up a house. So we buy a distressed house for $100,000, we put $50,000 into it. So we use a hard money lender to buy it and fix it up. and then you get it rented, and then you take it to a local bank and do a cash out refinance, and you pay that hard money lender back. Not to get into too much detail on it, and then you can do it as many times as you want. Again, it's just you're borrowing money to buy an asset that produces cash and grows in value, and then you add that equity and you pull some of that equity out to pay that lender back, and now you have a mortgage on the property with a bank, and your rent covers your mortgage plus all owning expenses. So that was a very, very jumbled up way just to kind of say that it's just a way to use other people's money to buy rental properties. You're backing into putting 20% down. You're putting 20% equity down through some smart moves with purchasing and rehabbing.
Well said. Yeah. I mean, so a hard money lender, what you got to remember, guys, that name is kind of scary. I wish they were called something else, but hard money lenders are in the business of financing real estate deals for real estate investors. So like that's their whole mission statement. That's why they exist. So don't be afraid to use them. Talk to several hard money lenders, find out, what kind of investors they normally like to work with, what kind of properties they like to work with. My hard money lender won't allow us to do any septic properties. These are kinds of things you want to know, right? So hard money lenders, it's a good relationship, experience, people to have on your side. So it's a relationship you want to develop.
If you want to buy rentals using other people's money and do a crap ton of them, you're going to need hard money and private money lenders, which we talk about on the channel all the time. And I just threw our free limited mentorship access. If you're watching this recording 2 weeks from now, glean all the information from it, but that will be closed. So you can go to that site and nothing will happen. So it's www.sam, you have to type that all in. We made it so you have to know the exact link to get it. So it's www.samyourcoach.com/gift, and you get free access to a paid mentorship. The link will be in the description as well. And then starting on Christmas morning, Santa brings you presents. I pull away the free access. So you will not have access anymore. So you literally have to do it in the next, 3 days, and it's gone. I'm not going to.
It's a hell of a promotion.
We'll go out of business if I give people free access to it forever.
Yeah,
so
let's not do that.
We want to stay in business. And we give away a ton of free stuff on our YouTube and Instagram. So keep the questions coming and we will get rocking. So what do you recommend to buy when you first start in real estate? So a couple things. I think you can buy anything. You can start out with apartments. You can start out with duplexes. You can start out wholesaling. Everybody can start from, everybody has a different starting position. But in general, most people start out, with a single family house, wholesaling, flipping, or renting it. Like you can, use other people's money and do the Burrs method and rent it. You can flip it, buy it, fix it up and sell it, hopefully for more than you bought it and fix it up for. Or you can wholesale, which means you don't even have to buy it. You just get it under contract to purchase and you sell that sheet of paper for 10, 20 grand because you got it at a discount or under contract at a discount. So, so I think it's kind of, single family houses is the best place to start. And one of those three options, it really just depends on what you want to do. If you need cash now, like your bank account's got, $1,000 in it, you don't have a ton of money, do some wholesales, get some cash. If you got money and a good job and you want rentals, start out with a rental. What do you think?
No, I agree with everything you just said. I think single family homes are a great entry point, and everything you learn in the single family home business, it's easily translatable across asset classes, whether it's apartment complexes or storage, same fundamentals across all asset classes.
I like it for sure. Keep the questions coming. We've got quite a few in the queue, so we'll get to all of them. The hard money lenders I've reached out to are requiring credit score of 625 plus. That seems pretty standard. Can you do a BRRRR with less than good credit? No. So if you got an under 600 credit score, most hard money lenders or private money lenders probably won't lend to you, even if you find a private money lender that doesn't care about your credit score, which is pretty easy to do. Private money lenders are more relationship based. A bank's not going to give you that final financing with an under 600 credit score. So your options are wholesale and pay a company to raise it, or
flip,
or partner.
Flip, JV partner. Yeah. So, absolutely. Yep.
So, or flip, wholesale, which is just not, it's just in and out, or, find a partner that has good credit.
Yep.
Sheezy's got good credit. Sheezy's got a good job. If somebody, you do have a partner, but, somebody came to you and, talked about, they're finding great deals. You can bring your money and credit to the deal and you partner on it and you each own it 50-50 and you bring the hard work and effort while you're raising your credit and they don't have to do a ton except, use their credit score. So there are multiple options no matter what your situation is. If you want to buy rentals, though, and have a low credit score, you're going to need owner financing, which we're probably not going to get into, owner financing or partnering.
Yeah, we just had a member in the mentorship program who just had like this breakthrough moment when he came to credit score. Like he realized that hey, you can't feel bad about it. You can't be in your feelings about it. It is what it is. So we work around it, just like anything in business and entrepreneurship, right?
For sure. I love it. For sure. So Charles, hello. Hi, Charles. Say hi, Charles.
Hi, Charles.
With home values being up in my market, 10 to 20K, pretty standard.
That's every market.
Are you using inflated values for ARV, or subtracting the difference in case the market cracks? So no, we're using I guess it kind of depends what your exit strategy is, but we're using current ARVs because that's what the bank's going to use. Yep. If you're getting in and out in 2, 3, 4, 5 months, the market's not going to shift that much. From 2008 to 2010, worst 24-month period in history for real estate, and it went down on average 1% a month. So you're not going to get hurt too bad if you're getting in and out quickly. If you're getting in and out quickly and the market does shift, which if it does, it'll be slight. It's not going to be a crash. So that slight shift would probably be like 0.25% a month, or 0.5% a month, if that, in declined value. So just use the current ones, but be conservative. If you're looking at comps and you see 310, 320, and 305, use 300. We do that in any market. So we're conservative on our ARVs, and we're also conservative on our rehabs. We don't do it because the market's going to shift. We just do it to be safe. Yeah, we're gonna have to get you. I'm gonna have to get you like a pillow here because you slam it a lot.
Do I really?
You get jacked up. You go.
I love this stuff, man. I'm a real estate nerd.
I'm gonna have to get you a pillow.
Okay,
it's all right.
I'm gonna keep my hands in my pockets.
There you go.
Or behind me.
It's good. I like the passion.
I didn't realize I
like it.
My bad, guys. So listen, great question, Charles. But yeah, we're conservative in everything we do. To Sam's point, that means conservative low on your ARV and conservative high on your rehab estimate, right? So you have to do what the market's, you can't use ARVs from 6 months ago or 6 months from now. You want to use current ARVs, but you want to be on the conservative side of that ARV. And
make sure to throw that like up. If you haven't liked this video, we've got a few more people watching. We usually have quite a bit, but it's, we're building our traction back up. We have been live for about a month. So make sure to like this video. It doesn't do anything to you. It just helps us push this, whether you're watching the recording or watching live. Please hit that like button. It really helps the algorithm. All right, getting on to questions. What's going on? Michael,
what's up, Mike?
How you doing? Aloha, he says. All right, so I would like
Mike's in Hawaii.
Mike's in Hawaii. We have several members.
We have a lot of members in Hawaii.
I would like to use hard lenders, but how do they approve a loan? Is it based on your income or the deal? Meaning, do they want you to make a certain amount required to do the deal? I love that question. So every hard money lender is different. Some do not look at your income. Most do. But it is more heavily weighted on the deal.
Yep.
You can't be, $100,000 in debt, have a job making 10 grand a year, and have a 400 credit score. But you don't have to be, 800 credit score. You can, they're going to look at you a little bit, but they're also going to look at the deal. If it's a home run deal, they will more likely overlook some of your other shortcomings as opposed to, having a tight deal, even with good credit. They probably prefer a newer person that's got a deal they buy for 100 and needs 25 grand worth 225. They loan on that all day. Huge spread, little risk for them as opposed to a tighter deal, even with a more qualified person.
Yep. Agree with all of that. 100%.
Awesome. A little follow-up. Also, when you refi, do you pay more? How do you judge the rent? So DC Snake, great questions, but this is all covered on the YouTube, on the TikTok, on the Instagram, on the mentorship. Check out the scrolling across the bottom and the link in the bio or the link below in the description. But when you're looking at and judging everything, you're going to know what it's going to rent for. You're looking at a 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot house. Go look before you buy it. What 3-bed, 2-bath, 1,500 square foot houses that are rent for. So the rent number, and then run your numbers, what you're going to buy it for, what you're going to fix it up for. So what your mortgage will be. You should be able to figure out what your real estate taxes are by going on Zillow or the tax records. You should know how much you're going to spend in property management. Everything is known. There will be slight shifts from compared where you analyze compared to what it's going to be at the end, but they should be less, and you should be conservative. So you should know everything before you buy it. Nothing should be a surprise, especially if you're doing quick in and out deals.
Yeah, and the way you can find a typical rent is just go to rentometer.com or rentometer.com. You can type in your zip code, number of beds, number of baths, and it'll tell you what the rent range is in the 25th, 50th, 75th percentile.
Awesome. If you're just joining, we've got a few more people just joining. Make sure to hit that like button. Sam and Sheezy, we're talking all things real estate investing. Got about almost $30 million worth of rentals owned between us.
Yep. You're most 90% of that.
Yeah, but it's all good. It's still there. You own more real estate than 99% of people. So
Sure.
So we're real estate investors, and we're just helping you and, giving you free access to the paid mentorship, free access in the scrolling across the bottom, and then also in the description. I'll throw it up there. So ask your questions. We're here to provide, positive feedback and have fun and answer questions. So throw that all in the chat box, and we'll get to all the questions if we can. Michael's got a good question. What type of credentials are hard money lenders looking for? So hard money lenders are going to look at the deal, and they're going to look at you. They're going to look at you having a decent credit score. They're going to look at you having some income coming in and potentially some cash reserves. They usually don't need $100,000 of cash reserves. They just want to not take that loan back. They want you to succeed. So they're going to want to make sure it's a good deal. They're going to make sure you have some cash to either put down or to use in case fan hits the whatever, and they're going to want to make sure you have some income coming as well. They just want you to succeed because they don't want to take that house back. So everyone's different, but they just look for basic qualifications, usually not too in depth. Yep. How long does it usually take to get a place refinanced after getting a tenant? Completely depends on your bank, right?
Yeah, so we call that a seasoning period, right? Like how long that tenant has lived there, and that deal is sort of seasoned until you refi. When you first start out, depending on the bank you're working with, they're going to want to see what we call proof of concept, right? And that's what that seasoning period is. You're proving the concept that you can own and manage a rental, right? So when you're first starting out, banks might tell you, 3 months, 4 months, 6 months, and that's okay, right? Like, especially when you're first getting started. But the trick is, when you do your second, your third, you want to start negotiating that down to the point now, like our bankers, the moment we get a tenant placed, if not before, they're refining us out of that, right? But that comes with a little bit of time and experience, and that's what the bank's looking for.
It's all about the relationship with the bank, developing a relationship with the bank. I love it. Great question here. Fernando, what is the difference between your mentorship and the videos you provide on YouTube? I love it. The reason I asked that question is because there's honestly so much value provided on our YouTube. I feel like it's probably why I asked the question.
Can I answer it?
You get started. Yep.
Okay. So we put a lot of information out for free on YouTube, more than most paid programs out there, right? But believe it or not, that's only 10%, right? The other 90% is in our program, right? All of our contracts, lease agreements, rehab calculators, bank and lender presentations, tenant screening checklists, materials lists,
weekly mentorship calls,
weekly mentorship call every Thursday at noon Central, like a network, right? Because right now, when you're in the beginning, you're just trying to learn the techniques. What happens after you learn the techniques? Then what?
How do you scale?
You do that through network, right? So we plug you into our member network where we literally have members coast to coast. We have a couple on this live right now. And the more you're involved in real estate investing, the more you'll realize just how important that network is. Being plugged into people who are doing this all day, every day, and being part of that community with all that knowledge, with all that wisdom, and like doing it now. We're active now. We're buying houses now. It's not something we did 10 years ago. Like we're building, right? So we share that firsthand experience and knowledge with you.
Yeah, for sure. And if you want to know, check out that link that's scrolling across the bottom. It's in the description. You have to type it in exactly how it is. If you don't do gift or you don't do WW, it ain't going to send you to the right place. So check that link out, and that shows you the inside of the mentorship. So you'll see everything. So basically, yeah, it's kind of everything you need to grow and scale. It's not just, believe it or not, like actual information is not like super sexy. So if I did what is in our mentorship on YouTube, nobody watch it because YouTube wouldn't push it anywhere. You got to do hooks on YouTube. You got to, you got to be flashy. You got to have a credible thumbnail. Yeah. Our information is insane. We don't have that huge of a following because our thumbnails we're still figuring out YouTube thumbnails aren't the best. Descriptions aren't the best. There's a whole like back end crazy, little momentum you have to build an algorithm. But on the mentorship, it's just everything you need to know. No paint, no, gray. It's black, white. This is it. This is it. This is it. We literally, it's like a path. Like walk this path, and it's like a millionaire path. You know what I mean? So we show you what does we say? There's no such thing as a get rich quick scheme, but what we teach in our mentorship is a get wealthy for sure scheme, if you want to put it that way. So hopefully they answered the question for sure. Alyssa, for those who are looking to invest out of state, what sort of tools do you like to use for research and possibly look inside of a multi-family?
Yeah, hire a videographer on all your properties. Hire a videographer, especially if you're wholesaling. But if you're looking to buy that property, you definitely want a videographer. They're going to take pictures of every exit, front, back, side to side, video walk their whole property, floors, ceilings, trim, walls, kitchen cabinets, the whole thing. Most videographers will know what you're talking about. It'll take them 15 minutes per property. You know, you pay them between 75 and $100. Good to go.
Yeah. So just basically that, and just kind of the kind of make that a little more macro. Just you need to have boots on the ground. You need to have video boots on the ground. You need to have property management boots on the ground. You need to have rehabbing boots on the ground. You need to have all those types of people on the ground, because you're not going to be there. I definitely would invest somewhere that you at least plan on visiting a couple times a year, so you can kind of see the area. But a ton of people invest virtually. I suggest investing in your local market. If that doesn't work for what you want to do, then obviously go elsewhere. We got people in California, New York, Florida, Hawaii. We got people all over the country investing virtually in our mentorship, and people do it all the time.
Yep.
So there's a lot that goes into investing virtually. It's just kind of a couple more steps, but if it's your only option, it's still an incredible option. Investing virtually in real estate's better than anything else ever, except investing in person in real estate in a good market.
Yeah, and once you learn how to do it remotely, if you think about it, once you learn how to do it remotely, you can do it from anywhere in the world, right? So learning it remotely actually creates quite a competitive advantage over time.
Yeah, Michael's he's in the mentorship, but intricate details step by step on the mentorship.
Oh, thanks, Mike. Yeah, so Mike just joined our program last week. He has friends in the program. We were just talking on Sunday, I think it was. Yeah, step by step on the mentorship. Appreciate the shout out, Mike. That's exactly right. Mike's gonna crush it. He's been in the program 3 days now, I think.
Yep. So Fernando, good question again. Thanks for answering. Are there any private hard money lenders in the network that you mentioned? I mean, yes and no. Like, we don't have my private lender that invests in with me and Lucas. You don't get access to that person, but we talk about where to find private money lenders, how to find private money lenders, like 6 videos on that, plus weekly questions live if you want with our weekly mentorship call. We talk about where to find hard money lenders. There are national hard money lenders that you can tap into that are in this space. And as real estate becomes more mainstream of a big investment, like 15 years ago when the market shifted, real estate was just a local thing. Now there's billions, if not trillions of dollars of hedge fund money, of Wall Street money, of equity firm money in real estate. So that's just going to create more national hard money lenders that are easy to work with. People realize how good of an investment it really is, even during bad times. So it's just going to be easier and easier to get money from other people. And we're going to be on the forefront of steering you in that direction.
Yeah. And this question, I think it's actually part of a bigger thought process, right, Fernando? I have a ton of new members who come in and say, Are you gonna plug me into the hard money lender and private lender? So listen,
no.
Right now, that probably seems like a very difficult, very mysterious, very obscure thing. Hard money lenders and private lenders. Like, it's very common in real estate investing. Real estate investing is the type of industry where people are looking to park their money, right? Hard money lenders are using an arbitrage model where they borrow low, lend high, right? Hard money lenders are in the business of doing what we do. Private lenders, it's as simple as putting together a sample deal package and getting that really tightened up. We call it a private lender presentation. It's not as hard as you might think. We talk about it in detail in the mentorship program.
I love it, for sure. Awesome. Well, great. We're going to get this cleaned up, y'all. Hopefully you enjoyed this. Make sure to give this video a like if you have not. Check out our TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all under the name @SamFasterFreedom. If you're watching this on 12/25 or before, click that link below. Go to that link. If you're watching it on 26 or after, I apologize. One-time thing, we have some really effing exciting things planned for next year. So just wait till mid-January. We got a huge launch we're doing. We got some products we're launching next year, as well as some specials. Just about every month we're going to be running specials. So check that out if you want this one. This is probably the best one we're ever going to run. So check that out. But we do have some stuff coming next year if you do miss out on it. Don't get too disappointed. Also, with a ton of thank yous. Appreciate you all.
Merry Christmas,
if
guys.
You see all this
Merry
crazy
Christmas, boss.
Merry Christmas, bro. You see all this.
That was terrible.
I love it. Anyways, see you on the next one, guys. We're going to start getting back in our momentum of going live every single Wednesday at 2 Central. Be there. See ya.
See you guys. Merry Christmas.
And